Whoa, bada bing, bada boom. We got the quirky girl in chat. How you doing, QG? Nice to see you tonight. Try not to move too much this evening. Gibbons is plucking my last nerve string tonight. Let me get this adjusted over here, making sure we're getting out the other side. And I'm going to be of good cheer tonight. I'm going to really fight to be of good cheer tonight. Ronnie, how are you? And you, Liz, good to see you. Ace Man 2D, how are you? Good to see you tonight. Welcome aboard to Tuesday Night Chat. The beautiful Leah, Melissa, someone's princess, Nikki Blue. I haven't seen you in a while, Nikki. And Amanda Lee. I love that name, Amanda Lee. I've been on a hair kick lately. I'm just trying to get something to weigh my head down a little bit to keep the compression off of my nerve tonight here. So good to see you. Hello, Lily. Happy Tuesday night to you. Baked up a little bit of chicken and some peas tonight, so I'm feeling good. Yeah, feeling better. I'll tell you what I did today, because this morning I was like this, okay? And this ain't no way to go through life, right? This gets you killed at gas stations. This gets you killed on the street when you can't have full 180-degree visibility. Yeah, I've been working a lot too. I still went in Texas. We have no more masks. We were open 100% on Wednesday. The beautiful Jackie Blue in the chat. Hello, how are you? Share, yeah, right. Share, right. Hey, Heaven Sent, how you doing, beautiful? And we've got McDave in the chat tonight. How are you, McDave? I've had better days. I've had worse days, but you know, all things considered, check the pulse, still alive, still above the ground as opposed to below it, so it's all good. Hello, Flip Flops and Sunsets. Love that name. That channel. Hello, Olivia Blake. Well, thank you, honey. I should get pinched nerves more often, right? Just what everybody needs. I finally did. Yeah, took all my pillows today and deep sixed them. And on the way home from work, I got a really nice. I hope it's going to be good. I'm going to try tonight. I did up the bedroom real nice. Did all the sheets and laundry and hugged my new pillow, and I'm going to give that a shot tonight to see. Hey, Angus. Yeah, I'm still a little rugged. Hi, Shimei. Hi, Amelia. How are you? My husband sent you a message on Instagram. I don't really do Instagram messaging. If you want to message me, please message me through my Gmail. I can make it like new at gmail.com. And I think my lovely friend Cheryl, who has just arrived on the scene of the accident tonight, will pop that Gmail for me. I only use Instagram to post maybe once a week up on Instagram, and I don't use their messenger. I try to restrict my message flow. I used to have Twitter and all that, and just got too out of hand trying to keep up with everything. So, hey Gigi, beautiful Rosie, best per se, look great. I'm confused. They said Texas is open yet Biden did it is far from over. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. A little bit of my thing. Hey, there's the beautiful Jasmine Star in the chat. Be still my beating heart and my lovely dancing dawn. How are you? And the very handsome Street Life has made the scene. It sounds like I'm kind of glad, guys. I hope you subscribe to Street Life. Reason I've known Street Life for years. He's OG, and he for quite a long time he was on the fringe of the OG Boyd community, and then last year he jumped in big time in Boyd, and he made a big splash with his. He was doing panels for a while. Hey, Monkey Boy, he was doing panels for a while, and then he started doing a morning upload, and it was funny. He discontinued that for a while. I think he underestimated how much people enjoy. And number one, he actually works here, which is which is almost beyond belief down in this community. Somebody has a job down here. Yay, yay. Okay. And he would take us along on this morning ride on what looks to be a very dangerous two-lane highway. there. But yeah, he sounded like he was a little miffed this morning. I just got to say, Street Life, I really like that when you're pissed off. I'm just. I hope Adventure Girl's doing good too. Who did I miss? Quirky, yeah, her Quirky. I hope you feel better, doll. Hey, Priscilla, how are you? Good to see you. Monkey Boy today, as always. There's the Street Life channel. There, check him out. Um, he's what I call a very solid individual, and there's no shenanigans and stuff. But don't boot him around the chat. Okay, that's what. Don't have him come in your chat. Hey, beautiful Scottish. Don't have him come into your chat and boot his ass around, okay? He's not really down. Hi, Vicky. Nice to see you. Hey, Revlo, how are you? Good to see you tonight. Be nice to him, okay? Tell him Rosie sent you over to his channel. It's my hope that he'll at least once or twice a week. Should do it on Fridays there, Street Life, because, right, it's like payday and Fridays, and everybody's all excited about Friday's always your best day at work, right? So check them out. I hope you'll continue with the morning streams and things like that. And if you're doing things on your channel that you want to shout out, let people know here so that my wonderful moderators, my hard-working moderators can pop in there, find your channel, and post it up. We're not a subs for sub channel. Hey, yeah, Bunny, how you doing, beautiful? We're not sub for sub here. But once in a while, I will shout out a channel for one that's a real, somebody that's been a long-standing friend of mine, and I think to somebody that I enjoy following. Hello, Andrew Scott. I'm Mrs. Diane, but changed my name. I messed something up and couldn't figure out how to get it come back up, so I had to change the name. Well, I'll try to remember that flip-flops and sunsets, but I do love the name of that. Channel. Yeah, Friday and Monday. Do something Friday and Monday. Now he might be. I don't want to do shit on Monday morning, Rosie. I hate going into work. I get that. Okay, so let's call it Tuesdays and Fridays. Oh, well, thank you, Andrew. I should pinch a nerve more often. Remember, at the 5 minute mark, we always buffer here. Just refresh your connection. Okay, it's a Streamlabs issue. Google's having all kinds of issues. YouTube now, people's comments are being deleted. And just like clockwork, March 1st, my monetization went down. Yeah, we know we'll get it fixed up or whatever. You can almost count it like clockwork. I don't know how a multi-billion dollar company cannot get the most simple things right in life. But that's not a big concern of mine, as you guys know. I woke up with a veritable pitch nerve before, looking like the old Elvira. Well, thank you, Joseph. I guess. Good to see you, alcoholic. Woke up this morning and I sat up and man, I was in a world of pain. And I've been on here. This is my 8th year coming on here. And Rosie's not one to talk about pain and stuff. That was okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't like to go into a lot of chats that have people just, especially old bats like me, that are just relaying all of their medical issues. Now, I do pray for a lot of people in the community. Rosie is not a heartless bitch. Okay, I understand there's some very serious issues in the community. But we come in here to have fun, right? As old Bergie boy says, Rosie's all about the fun, not the money. Well, I got another chance here to prove it's not all about the money. Because I'm still here doing my thing. Now, if you are buffering, just refresh your connection. It's something to do with Streamlabs. It always does that at the 5 minute mark. I don't know. I got like my minty green on tonight because it was a little bit chilly today. But I woke up with that pain, man, and I was like, oh, can I make a cup of coffee? Man, I couldn't even make a cup of coffee this morning. Okay, I'm like, no, I'm up at the Mr. Coffee, and I'm like. I'm doing the fucking robot dance, I'm trying to raise my arm up enough to get the water and go over the sink. I managed to do that, right? And I get back to the coffee. Oh God, I got to throw the old filter away, right? So I can't even raise my arm. So I get the tongs and I go over there, right? And I'm grabbing the tongs and I'm tonging the coffee filter out of the thing. And it's like the claw game. Remember the claw machines? You put the quarter in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How you doing, Dave? I had that shouted you and asked about how well your channel runs. Oh, well, thank you, Cheryl. That's wonderful. That was like a claw machine this morning. I'm like, I got the thing snatched up with with the coffee grounds. I got the filter and I'm starting to back up and it just cuts loose. I was never good on the claw machines anyway, guys. I dropped that son bitch right in the middle of the kitchen floor. And you know what? It's still there tonight. All right. Ain't no way, no how. I'm going to be crawling around that. So I go back there. I'm like, oh my God. I get to drop another filter in. Now I gotta get the water in, right? And I'm as a two-handed. I can't even look down at them. Like just pouring in the general direction. I gotta have my coffee, right? Ain't no way I'm gonna haul ass up to 7-Eleven, and I'm just pouring in the general direction of where I think that you're supposed to pour. I get it all over the coffee. The coffee's all gone over the side of the filter. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, drinking days. Now I got to get the coffee into it, right? And I'm like, just my luck. It's so I keep my coffee refrigerated. I use it rather rapidly. And thank you. I'm on the Tim Hortons right now, and it's on the high shelf. Oh shit! It couldn't just be on the low shelf, right? I got to put it up on the high shelf, man. And I'm pitching back, like going for it. You wonder why I didn't go live this morning, guys? You wonder why I wasn't live today? I'm pitching backwards and I claw to get that my tongs. I grabbed that coffee. I don't know how I did it, but I got a cup of that coffee. Now, a lot of people, Jasmine, it was like a pinched nerve. And if you've ever had a pinched nerve, it's where muscles and things or whatever compresses and it squeezes a nerve and it hurts like hell. And I get about one every other year. So sometimes right between the middle of your shoulder blades. Oh my God, that's painful. This one was high up in the neck. So I'm checking there's so many people. Hey Jody, there's say Ro, there's so many people that sent me links. Rosie, do this. I tell you, at noon today, I did go to work later today at 1 o'clock. I was able to actually marginally function today. At noon, I'm on this floor and I'm making myself a pretzel down here. I feel like I'm playing Twister with no game board down, right? I'm twisting myself there saying, Rosie, put this through here and pulling it. Well, the basic problem is I have very large breastises and I can't really like right pull around. I mean, as they used to say in the Philippines, I got big bumpers on the front end, and there's no way I'm gonna pull around. I also had somebody like put your hands backwards and do like a U shape on the floor. I did that, guys. I thought I was gonna friggin' pass out down there, and I'm laying on the floor, and I look up, and what do I see? Those beautiful bottles of bourbon up there. And it's almost like that commercial where the sky's open and the sun comes out and you hear the choir kind of sing and I'm just looking up at those bourbon bottles and this is at that moment in time I thought to myself, this is how alcoholics are born. It's at this moment in time. So I resisted that and I rolled over and I tried the seventh maneuver, which was being on your knees and one hand, a semi modified doggy position. Okay, if I might be a little. At least if you're on the receiving end, right? you know, I mean, Rosie ain't no pin cushion, right? But in that position, I was able to move this arm underneath, and the seventh thing that I couldn't even find the links again if I had to. The seventh YouTube video with those moves pretty much cleared. I mean, I still got a little bit of pain, but God, that was lucky, man. I came close to just. I'm looking at that beautiful bottle of $50 Woodford Reserve, and I'm thinking to myself, this could really be the solution to the pain and all that. Hello, German lady. Yeah, we all start taking that. We all start taking that little extra sometimes. Yeah, Alex, it almost turned into a sexcapade. All I needed was my silver bullet Dorito bikini, and that would have been a hell of a video down there. But I need to thank so many of the people. Hello, Joey D. I need to thank so many of the people that took time to send me ideas about that, and a lot of them were very good. Some people are like ice it, other people were like put a heating pad on it, blah blah blah. But I figured it was going to take some kind of move to get it. Oh, to watch me put it back in. Filmed all these shenanigans. Yeah, lay down, roll. I have to talk to women differently than I talk to my pet dog. I'm just saying. Okay, and I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a while since Rosie's been a little in a dry spell lately, so it's been a little while since anybody assumed the position down there. So now I only have knee burns and everything else from sliding around the right. Yeah, and I did vacuum at first. Okay, I did vacuum it first. Keep it safe with the alcohol. It actually makes your nerves more. You know, Alex, if you noticed, I rarely drink these days. I'm rarely on it. You know, I haven't since this pandemic started. I mean, last year or at the end of 2019, gone into 2020, I was so happy to go out to Chuchin and you hit an outdoor bar and you could have a drink, you could have a Death and Taxes dark beer or a Guinness or something like that. But all of that joy got sucked out of that experience. And to this day, we still remain in the purple area for our counties, one of the highest, still one of the highest rate of infections. Get an actual masseuse. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. An actual, but the boner can't is the morning wood. I don't know. I haven't really experienced it. Yeah, I need to be kick-started a little bit in that regard. Okay, there's no such thing as the morning wood for. How you doing, Risa? Yeah, well, the body shaping up has gone really good. It's too painful to even get toast into the toaster in the morning, right? You're not, your appetite's not really up there. So happy together. How is the weather? Yeah, the knee burns are fun unless it's doing flooring work and stuff like that. But you guys are amazing. There were so many things that you were suggested. There were so many links that were sent to my Gmail for things to unpinch a nerve. And whatever number seven was, the modified doggy position with the reach around, it seemed to work. It seemed to work pretty good. Okay. Not this reach, like this reach. Spring is coming. I'm horny, right? Let's face it, the wards are separated, no visitors, no item of that. You're not missing anything. Good evening, money order. How are you? Hello, Gypsy Heart. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hello, Lolly. I'm doing a lot better tonight. I had a bit of a pinched nerve situation this morning, so I'm feeling a lot better. I hope you're doing well too, Lolly. Good to see you, and good evening to Gigi. So we've kind of, I hopefully rounded the corner. And I really kind of think it's, you can't always use the same pillow for, a couple of years. Your body changes and everything else like that. So I got myself a nice pillow that was recommended to me by an orthopedic orthopedic doctor today, and I stopped by and picked, I don't even know what it's called, the ortho pillow, or I don't even know what the hell that. I just ripped the wrapper off and laid it on it. Just laid down on it to give it a little bit of a test run, and it felt pretty good. Hey Shelby, yeah, thank you, Scott Clark. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit of a while. We got the weird mouse in the chat. There's the mouse toes. Nothing weird about mouse toes out there. So thank you guys for that. Okay, so I think that the worst is probably over. But if you've ever had, no, it's not my pillow. It's like the ortho pillow or something. What the hell it was called. Right? I don't know what the hell it is. I just went in. The guy wrote it down on a paper. I went in the store, threw me the thing. I ripped it. I just paid for it, took it home, just threw it on the bed, gave it a test run. Yeah, this may work or this may not work. Your mouse toe says, I love the My Pillow. And Risa, thank you for your wonderful message to get one of those beds to do the vibration thing. Andrew Scott, you think I'm made of money? Don't you think by now, as sexy as I am, I would have had one of those vibrating beds and been doing my OnlyFans? On top of that, if I had one of those bad boys or the tilt-a-whirl ones, the hubby can rise up while the wife's dying beside her, right? The individual firmness adjustment settings and, really the cooling mat. Jesus. God! I just grew up with a damn mattress. That was about it. We didn't know any better. We didn't know the Tempur-Pedics and all this. What the hell, man? I don't know. God, you see what the price of that? Yeah, the magic fingers. Do you see what the damn price is of bedding and mattresses these days? And I had somebody write me today, Rosie, you need to get the purple mattress. You need to get this XYZ pillow. You need this underlayment, the very specialized one. Don't get this one, get this one. I go on Amazon, I'm shopping this thing and I'm totaling it up and it's coming up to like $4,000. And I'm like, really? So I write the person back. I'm like, did you total this up that you sent me? They're like, yeah, well, Rosie, you're a big hitter on YouTube. You can afford that. I'm like, yeah, I'll just stick to just sleep on a bed of nails or whatever. Like, right, $4,000. They're like, but Rosie, what price can you put on a quality night's sleep? Well, mine usually come about $200 for the mattress, right? Don't need a box spring, just put a piece of plywood down and all that. Where do you bed shop? Well, good. Look at people, Princess and the P. They want to tell me they want Rosie to wake up refreshed and ready to face the world, excited with a smile on her face, a little bit of humor on the morning chooch. A sour Rosie with a pinched nerve trying to make coffee is not the best video thing in the morning. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Tears on my pillow. Recommend a purple deluxe seat cushion for every one of you. I'll go to Home and Garden and come home with a pool and cabana boy on contract. There you go. I'll take one of the pool girls. Okay, you can have the boy. I'll take the girl there. Hope you're having an amazing night. Would it be amazing to hear a tune on the stereo? Miss you when you do that. AC, I got so many videos. Go down to my playlist. I have so many vintage audio videos. People say, Rosie, what's on your shelf? It's on a video. Okay. How did you build the wall of sound? It's on the video. How did you restore this one? It's on the video. How did you restore the Motorola? 22 parts of that. From rescuing that from a dingbat kid that was playing electric guitar and blew out the amplifier, taking it home in the truck and bringing it home in the whole restaurant. It's all down there. More than you can ever imagine. You want to make moonshine? I got dozens and dozens and dozens of videos how to make moonshine. Okay, you want a metal detect? Now, guys, this won't be for you, but bikini baking, yeah, things like that. So, guys, a big shtick. That's what I say. What's going on, Joni? I was the one you wanted to fake attempt to stay home from school. Of course, I love Leonard Skinner. Absolutely love Leonard Skinner. I mean, just absolutely love Leonard Skinner. I think he's fantastic. Loved it. Loved the music. I'm pretty eclectic in that. So let's close the door temporarily on the issue with the pinched nerve, because I don't like to talk about health stuff on here, because knock on wood, the old bat is still a pretty robust health. People are like, when are you going to do the flooring job? You can't do the flooring job. It looks like it might be this weekend that I go down. So we can't rush the tile, guys. Remember, when you hire contractors, they're in there bright and smiling that first day, and then you're lucky if you see them once a week for the next month or so. Okay? Takes a long time. They're going from job to job to job to job to job. So SX9000, you're my favorite diversion. Well, thank you, Soswald. Yeah, they's on pillow. My favorite part, Seattle Judy, of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is when Steve Martin's in there in the sink in the morning washing his face, and he looks down. And who in the hell has black water, right, from washing socks? I would have knifed John Candy in that bed. I'm just saying, man. I would have taken the Venetian blind cord and, right around the neck. Like, really? How you doing, monkey girl? I had to sleep a certain way to not aggravate. I'm telling you, Joni Portwood. And you know what I'm saying about pinched nerves? They are a nightmare because they're not easily cured and all that. We slept under the same moon and stars. Ex-roofer, I did one roof at a time and didn't jump. Well, when I was a framer, we did one framing job at a time, right? We moved through a whole complex, right? At that time, the Hilti guns were new. We're firing these things at each other and putting these projectiles through people's legs. Who knew at that time the explosive charge on the Hilti for putting sole plates of frames onto concrete pads, and that, a lot of fun. I have to watch that movie again. That was a great movie. That was a great one. Hey, Raleigh Jones, how are you? I know this sounds came in like when I get a pinched nerve and I can just ignore it and go away. Joey D, I did that, but I've got to work. Now more than ever, YouTube is once again glitched out, as they do every March 1st, is glitched out my monetization and everything. Which, I don't really, it's not that big a deal because I turned off my own super chats and PayPals from early January through mid-February. But I need to earn the coin so I can get my travel and maybe get my conversion van. And hey, Lynn, and I'm the kind of person that feels a sense of obligation when it comes to work. Okay, because I'm there like a 1099 outside contract employee, and I feel like I've got to kind of when I'm needed, I kind of got to be there. Maybe I'm just old school, but I've always had this record of never missing a day of work or a day of school, and I'd like to see that continue. Yes, I did see that somebody hit the jackpot at the airport. Yep, good on them. Good on them. Yeah, Steve Martin is brilliant, but I haven't seen too much from him lately. You saw Kitchen on the stream, and I love your oven. It's one thing I wanted to treat myself well to because I love baking so much. I wanted a good convection oven, and I wanted a restaurant's make of convection oven. So I chose the Fisher Paykel. It's been in there for 8 years, 9 years. It's going to need a tune-up. They do need to be serviced a little bit. Yeah, Joey D says, I used to work. Yeah, Joey D was racking bombs for planes. Okay, all right. You can't have a bad day. You can't have an off day when you're hanging bombs under wings and right. Right. Let's take a coffee. But don't lean on that. Poor Frankie leaned on the bomb release switch on the bottom. Took out half the airport there. Yeah, 40, 42. Well, you're a baby. You're a baby there, Carly. And hello, Elmer. Good to see you. Now, um, what's going on? I got a lot of people messaging me about Chris, Rich Life of Road Trips, and I'm not going to speak too much about that tonight. We did have a very lengthy conversation this morning. As with all insurance companies, there's always going to be twisted turns, and things are never as fast as you think that they're going to be. So things are still in process down there, and it's a question. You have what they call first level adjusters out there that just bumpers, bumpers and fenders, and then they have they call in a more regional person, I think, when something is potentially going to be totaled or something like that. So it's not a simple process that one and done. Yep, slam, bam, ma'am, here's your check. Have a good day. Don't let the door hit you in the hiney on the way out of there. Okay, it's a longer process to go through. Okay, and there's not much light that I can shed on it, but I could, there's to a person with a hammer, everything's going to look like a nail. And there are some family dynamics at work that I'm not going to, because I'm sure the family's watching me right now, as they always do every time I'm on the air. And hello to my family down in Whiteville there. I'm trying to keep on the north side. I'm trying to keep on the good side of things right now, and I refuse to be drawn into nuclear family kind of things like that, because it's not really my business. But I know the intention is to get another rig, and we talked about. I was listening to Street Life this morning. And my friend Street Life, he has a Class C that he's had for quite a while. He and his beautiful wife, the Street Beast. You can see it on his videos there. And I have also had a Class A 26-foot 1974 GMC motorhome with the 455 big block Oldsmobile engine. I had a 1988 Coachman camper van. Okay, with the legendary Windsor power plant in that. In all of those cases, the fuel mileage is exactly as Street Life stated, that you're going to get anywhere from 8 to maybe 12 miles to the gallon if you're lucky on an extended downhill run. They're very heavy vehicles. Even my camper van, which is a year older than the one that Elvis Travels had, was almost 9,000 pounds. Okay, think about that. 4.5 tons on that vehicle. It's gonna cost. Thank you, Star Walker. It's gonna cost. How you doing, handsome sugar cane? It's gonna cost a fortune in gasoline. Okay. Would I love to have a big Class A? I could have bought Mr. X's Class A. Beautiful, beautiful holiday Rambler at a very good price. Okay. But two thoughts crossed my mind. Number one, in this urban hellhole that I live in right here, where the streets are parked on both sides, and talk about tail swing. You take out half the other side of the shitmobiles that are parked in this neighborhood. Nobody will probably notice the difference. But number two, my big concern was putting gas and or diesel in that vehicle. Would I love that comfort? Who wouldn't? If I had a designated driver that would come by, open the door, put me in. Okay, Rosie, you can take the wheel now. Like those pilot boat captains. When you're a captain of a big freighter, oh, we're going into San Francisco Bay. No, no. You radio ahead, right? And here come the Bay pilots come out to your boat. They come aboard and they take you into port. Okay, same thing on Chesapeake Bay. That's what I would have needed here. But there's no way, no how, that I could be the traveler that I want to be with burning fuel at that tremendous rate. And let me tell you also, in the West, as opposed to a lot of the East, outside of the Appalachians and things like that, you have a lot of mountains to negotiate around, national parks and things. You burn a lot of fuel. You don't see many people, yeah, like a houseboat. You don't see many people um, driving Class A's just continuously on the road, right? One I can remember was Chris Travels took his RV, his Class A, his Monaco that he overpaid for tremendously, and he drove it up to Alaska. And by the time he got back down to the lower 48, it was a bucket of bolts, okay? It had rattled apart. They're not affordable for, neither Chris nor myself to have those type of RVs. So to make a long story short, my words of encouragement were please look at like I'm jealous, man. When he pulled onto the property with the 2016 Town and Country, I was shocked at the volume of room that was inside. That a guy that is 6 feet tall can comfortably be in there, and sticking Anna in there beside him. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny, Chris, if I did, like just a sheet over my top with no shirt on, just waking up in the Town and Country. I mean, it was that comfortable. It was that big inside of that vehicle, and you're looking at 30 miles to the gallon, and you can boondock it too. I could park in front of the mayor's house in Reno, Nevada, which I did, no problem. I could park anywhere, any commercial business anywhere. Never had, well, I think one or two times I had to knock them down. Can't do that with a Class A. You really have a difficult time doing that with a Class C. As Elvis Travels has demonstrated, when you take Class C's and B's into and A's into certain neighborhoods, the neighbors get a little, their fingers want to 911 state your emergency. Yeah, it looks like I got a potential creeper out here on my property, right? Oh yeah, you're in Hillsdale. That's high dollar. Ooh. We will be right over there and take care of that. It's a long way of telling me that my best advice is stick what's worked really well. We all want more room, right? A conversion van is what I decided is the top of what I can go for within the affordability range, within the mileage, which will still be compromised quite a bit, but the comfort of the conversion van and the fact that you can do a lot of things with it should be good. But most people that have big Class A's and C's, and this is the thing that I wanted to stress into any of you who are buying an RV, most of the people that buy Class A's, they might go on an extended tour of the United States, but it's an extended tour that's probably going to go all summer. They'll have the Thousand Trails membership, right? And they'll be able to spend 2 weeks at this park, go over to Central Florida, 2 weeks here, maybe get a week down in the Keys or something like that, and then you're off to Alabama for 2 weeks. You're spacing out that travel. But if you think that you're going to go from town to town to town, just gallivanting around constantly, day in and day out, it's going to get very fatiguing and it's going to get very old, boondocking and things like that. So yes, my suggestion was get yourself another nice van if you can, and enjoy the traveling that way. I'm not saying you're not going to have a lady friend or a girlfriend, but I think if you're predominantly traveling as a single person, it's probably a pretty smart way to be. Alcoholic says, just make more money, Rosie, and get a better RV. I'm working on it. I'm out there still breaking rocks. Okay. I want to be like Cool Hand Luke. Yeah, boss, I'm doing it. I'm getting it, boss. Look at me, boss. Yeah. I got a pig, boss. Keep shaking that tree, Luke. Keep shaking that tree, boy. I'm breaking up rocks. I'm still putting tar down on the highway, right? I'm still shoveling the gravel on top of it. Okay, I'm still doing the job, and that I think that that's my responsibility. Class A is kind of for the hoity-toity. One thing you sure as hell want to do is be very careful if you buy a used Class A or something like that. You better know what the hell you're getting into. I remember when I was first looking at RVs and going out there and went to some of the local dealerships and stuff like that, and I would see these newbies come up, and I was a newbie too, and the salesman knows the right buttons to push. He's like, "Look at the room here. Sit down in this chair. Ooh, you know." Grandma sits down. Oh, this is really nice. Yeah, now watch this. Boo! Here comes the TV down. Right, Grandma, are you comfortable? Yeah, watch this. All of a sudden the chair goes back. Wow, look at this. Look at the bathroom. You can actually get your ass on the seat in this thing and get yourself into a shower. I mean, they are real, real. You better have a lot of money, a lot of dinero. Then you get to your camp, your RV park, and it's like, are we really going to take this to downtown San Diego every time we want to do some sightseeing? No, we need a tow vehicle. Yeah, thumbs up are most appreciated. Take a minute for a thumbs up. It makes my pinched nerve feel better. Get a truck, get a little camper on something like that. So that is my best advice. Now, as far as the other issues, my gut feeling tells me whenever you're dealing with insurance companies, and I've certainly dealt with my share of them in my life, whether it's house, where the dope ran into the corner of the house and took it out here, or whether it's things to do with the road, with accidents, is adjusters are not necessarily your pal. Okay? Their purpose is to what they call underwrite, and not in the way of take on the risk, but to underpay and to find every little thing, that every little nook and cranny of things that they can do to write down the value of that. So what is the final payout going to be? I got no idea at all. But I think it would be smart to temper expectations and things like that. You may have to face the reality. You may not get something as nice as what you obviously took very good care of. Clean on the highway, very clean inside, well kept on the inside, and things like that. No rolling junk pit on the inside. But that was a pretty damn well appointed TNC. I have to say, the seats, the whole, sound systems, everything. The seat, the disappearing seats, the fact that you could put a futon bed into the back of that rig and sleep damn comfortably. You do not, as Cobra John said, you never come out ahead with a claim, especially if you have a beautifully maintained, well-maintained vehicle. I suspect that you can't really come out on the winning end of that, but I do hope that it turns out. Now, beyond, yeah, thank you, Riley. Behind getting the payout and then what happens next beyond that, I'm kind of a very serial person. I want to kind of see one thing at a time. I want to put all of my attention into going to battle with the adjuster. Okay, because insurance companies see different than you and I see things. But I want to make sure they understand, not only is this a vehicle, but this is my home too. And once in a while, I mean, they're pretty heartless people, but once in a while, you may be able to appeal and get jacked a couple hundred more dollars. I just don't know how it's going to turn out. Yeah, Street Life said 7,500 to 1,500 Blue Book, something there in that range. I know Tasha had some community post where it said like 55. I think that. Shit, I'll buy it for 55. I'll take a chance myself, right? I think that's quite a bit too low for that van. Cops knock on the door. I just won't answer. Chris' name is on the end to leave behind. Well, they fixed it for a minute. Get back at me. Uh, um, I don't know. Are there a couple questions there? I think that remains to be seen perhaps tomorrow when the regional person comes in. Okay, now I don't know what the regional person is. I don't know exactly what their function is. There could be a few more twists and turns and adjustment than we're aware of. We don't know who looks at what footage or what the hell. We got no view on that, what goes on from the insurance company's point of view. We don't know. But at this point in time, Patricia, all I can say is the initial indication, as Chris stated from the initial adjuster, was that it looks like it should be totaled out. Okay. Now, somebody else might feel different about it. And Patricia, I wish I could give you, hey, Moxie, I wish I could give you a better answer, but it would just be totally conjecture on my part as to what would happen from this point forward. But I know if I had to make a bet on it on the Vegas betting line, I'll bet that you don't come out as good out of the process as when you went in, before the accident. There's going to be some sort of cost that's going to be 100, possibly into the thousands or whatever. And it results in negotiating and fighting in the meantime. You're under pressure to find yourself another vehicle, and therein lies the next big hurdle. What are you going to get into? Well, perhaps your money will be diminished at this point, and therefore your range of purchasable vehicles will be lower. Now, lower doesn't mean it's not going to get you around, but I will stress again that the build quality to Town and Country is very nice. It's very well appointed. It's quiet on the road. I'm sitting in my van. You hear the person farts 2 lanes over and I can hear it. Okay. No insulation, no nothing. That Town and Country is like floating down the road in a cloud. It's a different story. So, I'm trying to cushion things a little bit by saying you may not you may not come out as good as you were at that point in time, which pushes me to family dynamics. But I'm not going to go there. Okay, I know I'm. Hi, I know they watch me on the daily in Whitefield now and all that. So, but I'm not going to go into that aspect of it. So, I don't know about insurance rates or what the uh, you know, an accident that's not your fault should theoretically not raise your insurance rates, right? Because they can squarely put the liability on somebody else and the damages and all that. And you have a right to be made whole after that accident. Sometimes you're at fault, 100%. Generally, when you rear end somebody from the rear or something like that, it's automatic. In the eyes of most insurance companies and the law, is you have to be ready for any type of road emergency that may occur, meaning that you're kind of responsible for the field of vision ahead of you because you have 100% visibility in your front windshield. Okay? This may be a 50-50er, in which case, yeah, there will probably be some adverse impact on insurability and insurance rates. I hope not. But I think that we know that insurance companies like to level up the field. They pay out a big claim, they go to their actuarial tables, they figure the odds of whether you're going to stick with them for the next 3 years, and they adjust your premiums accordingly to gradually claw back that monies that they spend. But there probably will be an impact on that. As far as titling the vehicle is concerned, I'm privy to some things on there that I'm not going to disclose. It's not my business to do so. It's up to Chris. But I can tell you that I don't want to say in theory, but in most of the reality, yeah, it is as stated in his name. Beyond that, I don't feel like it's my place to talk about titling issues. I'll let Chris talk about. It's his van at the end of the day, and I don't want to step on where I shouldn't be talking about stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna say that. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff on the inside that doesn't sit real well with me, but I'm just gonna suck it up at this point in time. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm in a fun stream as a live choo-choo show. I don't know what your gypsy heart. We got to mix it up. Or the fix it will be totaled out. Yes, it's gonna be. Because it's a front wheel drive and the things are affected on that. I can't go at. Let's face the realities, Gypsy. I'm 62 years old. I'm slowly kind of losing my zest for the street, considering I'm watching SGV today, and people are starting to get their cameras snatched and busted. And it's a little something to think about out there on the streets. Of course, I'm going to still do it, but I'm going to pick and choose carefully, especially during this pandemic time. Ah. Now, are new parts available? Yes, the parts are no issue for the town and country at all. No, no issue for that. Hey, Darlene, well, thank you. Got your name changed on. Okay, well, Dee, welcome back. Thank you. Your defense, the family shouldn't think it's up to you to fit. They're not asking me to fix it. um, I just, I'm not, do I go down this road or not? Do I go down this road or not? I'm not a drama queen. I don't come on here and do drama and things like that. But if somebody's unable or unwilling to see that you have a good heart and that you care about people, and yeah, some people still do in the world and will reach out and try to help somebody to live their dreams or achieve their dreams, especially when it's somebody younger than you. I don't expect to be in a battle with other people supporting that. Now, I know on YouTube we have difference of opinion. We have the enabling, you're enabling, you're doing this, that. Everybody should stand on their own 2 feet, blah, blah, blah. But, your mileage may vary. You spend time with somebody in person over a period of 2 to 3 weeks on and off, you get to know the person a bit. Okay, you get to know what makes them tick apart from YouTube. And, you know, uh, sometimes as I've said before, and I'm not going to be an excuse maker, people are wired differently. And we always tend to judge people by the norm, the great law of averages that says most people should be like this in life, or most people should say thank you for this, or most people should also ask, how are you doing, when somebody asks how you doing. There's all these norms that govern the great area under the bell curve, or the big, great, big average, the big middle section. Well, in my mind, hey Liz, in my mind, not everybody falls within the middle of that large meat part of that bell curve. Some people are outside of that. They're wired differently. Okay. And, something that looks as simple as the way, well, geez, everybody should think like that, or geez, that just doesn't make sense. And as I've said before, thinking back on special ed training and things like that, and just, the big takeaway I got from that is you're not going to really change the person. You have to change yourself. You have to change your perception and put the focus not on what somebody cannot do, but what they're capable of, what they're capable of doing. And this is in no way, shape, or form to discuss this particular situation. Okay, this is just in general means because he's an intelligent, Chris is an intelligent person, but it's we're so much of the product of our environment. We're so much of the product of our raising. We're so much of the product of the traumas and dramas that shaped our childhood. And some of those dynamics kind of scars for life and put us into places that other people in general aren't into. And yeah, the people get fatigued sometimes. The people get worn out. Do they get frustrated? Of course they do. But I'm just saying, I try not to be judgmental in those regards, but just try to be a helpful, caring person. That doesn't mean just throw money at the situation. If I can offer somebody shelter, I offer them shelter. If I can give somebody a couple dollars on the street, I give them a couple dollars on the street. Anything to just take that person out of that moment and just give a little dose of you know humanity. I don't call it what would a Jesus do moment, but there's a lot of things to think about when you meet somebody in person. So, of course, now my concern, and many would say it's not your concern, it's not your business. Um, is capable of standing on his own 2 feet or whatever. I've not made those professional valuations and evaluations of anybody. I guess I could say that about a lot of people, including myself. I probably have enormous mental flaws within my being, and a lot of people here will tell you, yeah, Rosie, Rose, he, and Herman, any of the other things that people gladly label on you. Okay, it is a cross that we bear. So this is kind of a roundabout way of saying I'm not quite sure how things are going to play out in the future, but I can guarantee you this: I'm going to try to be helpful by giving the very best advice that I think I'm capable of giving, given that I'm older, maybe a little bit wiser. And I'm going to try to help in that regard. And if I can offer something in the way of shelter, that if somebody can get on their feet again and get their life back intact, yeah, I'll do something like that too. Just to put it out there. Okay. There's nothing in my being that gets any kind of pleasure or enjoyment seeing somebody in a tough situation. And I'll just put it out there. Yeah, it can be cool for drama and the human struggle for survival and overcoming. And I'm glad a lot of our world isn't like that, to tell you the truth. So I'm just putting out there because my phone's blowing up. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with that? I'm going to be as helpful as I can possibly be. Okay, so I'm just going to be honest and I'm going to put it out there. Does that mean money? No, I'm not. I'm not born to the purple. Okay, I'm not. But if I can offer some shelter or meals, if it's asked, it hasn't been asked of me, then I will step up and I will do that. As I've tried to help other people that have come through here too, to give them a respite, to try to rebuild a gut and rebuild a motorhome, to give a gal a chance to showcase her talent and put a couple $100s in her pocket, right? To have other people come, Monkey Boy, Mr. Z, and have some enjoyment and some pleasure and terror, and other people here on the rancho. So um, I'm just putting it out there because everybody wants to know. Okay, so we do talk on the daily. I do try to give the best advice I can, but I'm not. I also see what you guys say too about the realities of a situation where you have an accident such as occurred on I-75 outside of Richmond, Kentucky. People ask me, why didn't Rich take the help of housing or whatever? Roger Brown's very nice. Yes, he is. Joni Portwood's very nice. Yes, she is. But there's some individuals that like that independence to the point of somewhere you and I wouldn't reach. Okay, it does not mean that they're disrespecting the person. It just means they have an independent streak that's kind of a mile wide uh, down in their being, and they like that. They like that feeling of overcoming and dealing with the situation as it plays out. But I have to say, yeah, I only got one eyelash on. Yeah, no, I never use eyelashes, just bad eyeliner, John. I have to say, though, that it was very kind of Roger Brown, and thank you, Roger Brown. I've always admired you. And also, Joni Portwood, it was very kind of you. But this is what I would expect, though, from so many people in this community. When the chips are down, yeah, sometimes we have good laughs, and I've laughed over the years at some of the bullshit that's gone on in the RV community, and the hijinks with Elvis Travels and all the other crap over the years. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of yucks and a lot of laughs too. A lot have been at my expense and other people's. But the beautiful thing about this community is at that point in time, at that night when I was at the fire pit wrapping up Rancho Kitchen Stadium, there was that beautiful rush of concern that I saw. And the beautiful thing is, some of the people that I least expected to see on my chat and on other stats were, geez, I hope Rich is okay, or God, yeah, that was bad, or whatever. And it was kind of in a bad situation. It was a very heartwarming moment, but it doesn't surprise me because this community has always demonstrated a willingness when somebody really legitimately needs help, they'll reach out. And I know Captive Sparrow was talking about, hey, I'll put you in a hotel, I'll feed you. Nice, just what I would expect from that gal. And there were a lot of people that, hey, Justin, there were a lot of people that really showed that humanity that night. That was really wonderful. Is the situation of the accident good? No, it's not. From an insurance company perspective, it's not the best optic in the world. But the other thing that I've seen is there has been that really coming down to a 50-50 balance here. And most of the analysis that I've heard and most of the reflection that people have done that I've seen in the chats is people can see wrong on both sides of the equation, which is pretty good. you know. And I think that's the way the insurance company sees it too. Nobody walks away without a hit. Guy that took off for the with the Jeep certainly sustained hundreds of dollars worth of damage on the rear quarter panel or whatever, and probably the bumper. But this person just chose to take off into the night. Okay, but I can certainly see what a lot of you have said about this type of accident, and it kind of evened the scales a little bit when this person took off and the knuckleheaded thing that they did crossing the median, not using any flashers, not using any signals at all, and pulling into a high-speed lane there. So, okay, Elmer, thank you. Would love to. Any insurance company would love to. They're not gonna. They're not gonna. They can't be too brutal. They got to weigh off, right? They got to weigh off the public perception of them, and if it's progressive, then flow, right? We settle claims quickly or whatever, right? The internet kind of keeps the fire at people's feet, right? And companies are very keen to their perception of the public. So they can't really torch you like they might have done 25, 30 years ago. They just incinerate you on the spot. Right? That's the way it goes. Now I think they have to be a little more realistic. But as I said, there's some definite things to be weighed from the insurance company's point of view too. this is why I, have in my conversations with Chris kind of tempered the idea of what final payment may be, and just kind of settle into the idea that you probably will have to maybe downscale in the future a little bit of what kind of wheels that you're going to use. You said, would you sell me your van? And yeah, I would. But the problem with that is I know damn well that a 6 foot tall guy is not going to be comfortable in that rig. Ain't no way. Okay. Going down the road, the suspension's okay, but no insulation, no inside appointments at all on that vehicle. So I just said no. I wouldn't sell that to you because I don't think it would make sense in your on your situation, right? On Alzheimer's. I mean, I don't know who drove it, Quirky. I mean, statistically, it's shown if you have an accident and you flee the scene of an accident, it's usually one of two. It's one of three things. Okay. Number one is drugs or alcohol. Okay. All right. Yeah. Taken off from the scene of an accident because of facing potential of license suspension, revocation, depending on how many times. Number two is not a licensed driver. Okay, which happens a lot in California. Somebody whacks you and they just take off, man. They're not hanging around to see if you're writhing on the ground in pain and taking your dead last breath. They're like gone in less than 60 seconds. They're the hell out of there. And the last case is if somebody doesn't have any insurance or no coverage at all, which in a lot of states is a high ticket event. So I think statistically, it's probably one of those three things. I don't agree with medical issues. I don't think that people that have medical issues turn into median strips and do turnarounds and things like that. I don't think so. Right? That's typically somebody that's, remember it is Saturday night, Sunday morning. What's the big drinking night? Saturday into Sunday, Friday night, Saturday night. Oh shit, we missed our exit. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, somebody wanted by the law, or somebody's going to get their plates run and their license, and they could have an outstanding. I don't know. I mean, don't tell me the person didn't feel it, right? I don't know, but the fact that that accident is in living color on forever memorialized on YouTube is something that the insurance company will consider, and they may or may not make an adjustment for that. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Hey, Ma Teresa, how are you? How do we know the guy's wife wasn't in labor in the vehicle? I guess because he never called back to a police precinct from the hospital or whatever, the California or the Kentucky Highway Patrol, Cheryl, and said, I had an emergency situation where my wife was in labor and I got hit from behind, but due to her situation, I could not stop on the highway. So I'm calling in now to report that accident as I'm required to do by law. How does that sit with you, Cheryl? I think that would be a reasonable thing to do for any responsible person that was rushing somebody to the hospital for a medical emergency, is to think about the carnage that you potentially left behind on the highway. Maybe that's a higher priority at that moment because you don't know if that person behind you flipped into the median and rolled into oncoming traffic. You got no idea. No idea. Ah, it doesn't matter what we don't know. We was driving. Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, so I'm just saying people are probing me for answers, and I don't have the answers, but I'll hear about it. I'll hear what the offers are. I'll hear what the situation is. And if asked, and only if asked, I will offer my opinion at that point in time. Because I don't jump in and direct other people's lives and how they do things. Do I wish there was more support on the North Carolina? Of course there is. But I'm not going to go down that path of what was done to who or this, or the mess. I'm not going to go to Anna and all that. It's not my business, and I'm going to keep it that way. Could sue Chris at a later date in civil court for a whiplash, but that person would have a hard time, Star Walker, standing up and violating the most sacred tenet of the highway, which is never leave the scene of an accident. Okay, that's a hard thing. There's no defense of that in court. See, man, that's why everyone's so wrapped up in someone's life like this. Because, well, for me, Rhonda, I'm involved on a daily basis. Okay, I'm not involved in the affairs of heart. I haven't gotten into that. Chris knows that I'm good friends with Lisa Lynn. Okay, I'm good friends with Chris. I don't get involved in affairs of the heart and how who did what to whom and who bought what for whom. Not my business. Not my business, and I would never think to inject myself into that world. It's not my business. I feel uncomfortable, and it's not my thing. So, temporary insanity. Star Walker, you're too cute. Yeah, well, the medical emergency would have to be documented, and you can't tell me that a yokel that's going to do a hit and run is then going to present himself that night at a hospital to cover himself, especially when he got hit by the rear in the rear. It just defies logic. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe to a hillbilly it does, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Impaired and no license or insurance. That's what I think. There's your three. There's your three choices. These people on the interstate make me nervous. They've made me nervous. They've made me nervous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know, Al. You can, I don't. You do. I see you hanging over in those chats, and that's cool. That's your pleasure. Make sure everybody their business, or at least this version. I don't know. So we'll see what the hell will happen. Bridget, that would be my recommendation to get another van. Okay, because I know you'll be comfortable in it. It may not be what your ultimate heart's desire is, but it gets you from point A to point B at 30 miles to the gallon with some pretty good sleeping area and a fairly decent measure of safety on that. So I think gas mileage should be paramount. Gas mileage and sleeping comfortable. Let's chat. Hey, how you doing, Kathy? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Oh, what an honor to see Kathy Rebuilds in the chat tonight. So, well, being a hillbilly myself, I can say that. Right? Being a hillbilly myself, I can say that. All right, not everyone who's disabled is physically exactly, exactly. And I've worked with, the best 6 months I spent was at a classroom practicum. Working with people on a daily basis under the tutelage of a certified instructor to be doing that on a daily basis. That was very eye-opening. Hey, Jesse Scott, how you doing? While driving the highways make me nervous. People so agitated while driving the highways make me nervous. Hey, Penny Pincher, how you doing, sweetie? I'm nervous too. I've seen a real change since the pandemic came in, and I've told you guys on the streets of Santa Rosa here, there are no speed limits anymore. There are no speed traps out here. There's much less of a presence on the highway now than there was before the pandemic began last March, April. By May, with the George Floyd riots in May and June and July, the police pulled back dramatically. Okay? And you can't tell me that they didn't. In all phases of interaction with the public, worries about standing next to people and getting cornholio germs, and also people pissed off, at least some percentage of people pissed off about cops and things like that. They probably felt like they might be, they might have a little bit of a target on their back. But then I saw the highway speed. I used to think I was very blessed doing 80 miles an hour on the highway down I-5. Now I got people routinely doing 90 and 100 miles an hour. It's getting scary out there. Because even at 70 miles an hour, you could see Chris's reaction time. That vehicle was right up on it. Boom. All right. You can imagine at 90, 100 miles an hour, you're eating the steering wheel from your car from behind. Terrible. 15 people killed in the internet. Yeah, I saw that high watch down near the border down there. Yeah. So I don't see the police presence that we used to have on the highways and stuff. They pulled back dramatically. And I think that the roads have become more unsafe as a result of that. And one reason I decided, and I haven't done this for a while, if I stream from the highway, I will just set it up stationary and let it roll. If people want to see the scenery and the moderators come in and out, that's fine. But as far as on highways with these speeds these days, boop, 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 boop. Why is Blackbird doing what you plan to do? Books and records, flower feed. I don't know. I haven't even done anything flower feet, but thank you for pimping for his channel. I appreciate it. Okay, neither he nor I have done anything. Okay, he probably took a look at my channel and said, "Hey, I can be a Rosie too, right?" Pulled over and they were overly nice. It's all those Fast and Furious movies. I believe there's something to that, Al. I believe there's something to that comes out of the gaming mentality that turns highway safety into a game, right? Turns it into a game, right? Y'all stop giving out all this personal info. Go talk to, yeah, don't give out any personal info in here. We'll have to remove it. Hey, Em, how are you, sweetie pie? Patricia said, rode that Jeep was across the middle lane, then turned the wheel and sat there in front of Chris suddenly. He wanted to do himself in. Chris hit him full, and it could have been a lot worse. Yes, it could. No signals, no flashers. I mean, generally tell you if you're coming onto the highway, put your flashers on, or at least your turn signal, so drivers behind you will get an extra idea of what you're doing. Yeah, 4 seconds from the time the headlights turned into the median. So I don't know. It's shocking being in his live. Just yeah. Um, it's not the Judy. It's not the last time you're going to see that, in my opinion. Right? Since live streaming is all the rage these days and things like that. But it's one thing to set up a fixed stationary camera. And then you can treat it as a side chat only event. And if you post it as such, people will understand that. And that'll be good. Something influence from the past. I think all of that contributes to that bowhead, Sully. And there's that thin blue line that's always under pressure. And that's kind of weakened a little bit, right? I saw it in Las Vegas. Do you know that some retired cop from Massachusetts was by Caesar's Palace or by Bellagio over there, and some guy just squared on. I guess it was a couple days ago or something. Squared on, punched him in the face, and just killed him. And I will say, I think that part of the contributing factor of what's going on to the highways too is drug use. Okay, from crack and everything right on up the line. Meth, crack, and all that is altering a lot of people's brains out there. I think that's doing a lot to contribute to the craziness, the lunacy that we're seeing in society now. It's just cheap drugs. What did they find? Like 500 pounds of fentanyl or something that they're trying to come in from Mexico. Yeah, it's feeling better. Thank you, Sherry. It's feeling better. And I really think the drug use is a big part of the is a big problem here. Yeah, the golden rule is the only way to go into life. What is that? He who makes the gold, he who has the gold makes the rules. I don't know. Yeah, speed freaks, all that kind of stuff. Stony Jenkins. What do you think of people leaving an accident scene? What do you think I think about it, Flower? If they ever catch you, and you can look at that video, that famous YouTube video that Chris Hansen had of that gal that claimed she didn't even know that she was in an accident. And the cops figured out who she was. They came to her house and wanted to arrest her, and she went nuts and they tased her. Right? I mean, if they find you, they will arrest you. Okay? That's what you hit somebody from behind if you're not on drugs or alcohol or otherwise stupid. They're generally not going to arrest you unless it was totally reckless speed event or something like that. But if they, yeah, if you're leading the speed, you're leaving the scene of an accident, yeah, they will arrest you. They will arrest you. Good night, Gigi. Whose birthday is it today? Huh? Cheryl? Whose birthday? Happy birthday, Cher. Whose birthday? Yeah, but Chris Hansen is in a lot of problems these days, you know? Is it Cheryl's birthday today? Son of she won't even tell me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cheryl. You're wild as a March hare. Happy birthday to you. There's my number one ball buster in chief. Hey, Brian, I'm feeling a lot better. There's my girl. There's my girl. Okay, happy birthday to you, Cheryl. Lots and lots and lots of love to you. Wow, she kept that a hidden event from. She probably told me it was coming, but yeah, I'm very proud to call her a friend. We don't always see eye to eye, and as you'll notice on here, a lot of times we don't see eye to eye on events on YouTube, but that does not preclude somebody from being a great moderator. And therein lies the difference. Where did Cheryl? CJ May just disappearing. Nice transition to. Okay, well maybe it's not her birthday. Missy always does that stuff. How you doing, Missy? Well, we'll pretend it's her birthday anyway. The last one topic I want to talk about, so that concludes Wild Time. I wanted to touch on the pandemic a little bit because I have a lot. I love the state of Texas. It's no secret. I think if I was going to choose another state to live in, I would probably choose, yeah, the state of Texas because there's a lot of stuff I love about the state of Texas. I think the spirit in Texas is what California maybe used to be in the pioneer days of more individualism, more, less of a socialist communist feel. And although it's changing, it's under pressure, right? It's on its way to becoming a shade of blue, maybe. But Governor Abbott today lifted the March 10th, I believe. You no longer need to wear a mask in Texas due to, I don't know how many millions of people have been vaccinated. It's quite a few people, 4 million people have been vaccinated. The only thought I want to leave you in regard to that, and I do love the state of Texas. I enjoyed every single moment I spent in Texas. The thought I want to leave you with, though, is we tend to think United States, Canada, England, up in the northern hemisphere on YouTube, that comprises what? 80% of our viewing audience here on this platform in this country. There's a whole nother world out there. Okay. And right now, in the southern hemisphere, particularly down in Brazil, where a lot of this bullshit really took root in a major way and went on, they're recording the highest deaths now since the pandemic began. And in, what was that today? A new variant. I don't know where it came from today, a New York variant or something like that. Or there's a new, excuse me, variant that now is starting to target more of those that are younger. I'm hoping against hope that this pandemic doesn't follow in the way of 1917, 18, 19, 19, where we had that first wave that took out the generally the aged and the weaker the older people. And then it had the W where it took out young people for a period of time, and large numbers between 20 and 40 got decimated. And then it cooled off again, and then the right side of the W was back to those with preconditioned illness and the elderly. I'm a little bit, yeah, it's a big world out there, Red. That's my point. A lot of people may throw off the masks too quickly here, I'm concerned. Because remember, Texas in the South was one of those places that kind of celebrated, we're Texans, we're tough, we don't need masks and things like that. And they got walloped by the pandemic down there. And remember this too, although we may get vaccinated here, how much of the rest of the world, how long is it going to be before even a marginal number of people in Brazil, Chile, other Indonesia, how long is it going to be till they get immunized? Meanwhile, all of those other big populated countries become perfect breeding grounds for variants of COVID to come out, some of which will fall outside the protection of the current vaccines. So don't hate me. I'm going to make a gentle. I'm going to make a gentle suggestion that maybe instead of thinking about freedom and being able to whip off the mask and we're Texans once again, you might want to just take your accumulated experience of starting to wear a mask and it's almost part of your daily routine. You may actually want to continue that through and continue to wear that mask because that could well and truly really save your life. And it's not so much what happens here, Red, as you're saying. It's the things that happen outside of the United States. You know, viruses jump from the southern to the northern hemisphere, then back down as the seasons change from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. So I am well concerned. Yeah, you wear a mask, but not a condom. So who in the hell's birthday is it? God darn, Missy, you drive me out of my mind. A lot of people in the U.S. don't want the vaccine, and that's a personal choice, Kentucky Cue Ball, and I've maintained that from day one. I went out and I got the vaccine. I got my second dose. I felt like shit for probably a week. All right, but I'm over that now and I'm glad that I had it done. But that's personal choice. Okay, and unless it becomes a law, which, you know, haven't you guys seen that this thing just goes in cycles? And each of the uptrend peaks, the next one's higher and the next one's higher. We know we have the pressure of businesses needing to open and things getting back to normal, but man, I hope we don't lose a ton of ground here and find ourselves with a bigger wave and really crush our hospitals. You love watching you on TV and on the iPhone to chat. Well, thank you, Darlene. Yeah, so I think it's not a bad idea. For me, it's still a requirement and it probably will be. I can't see California loosening a requirement to go maskless in a store through 2021. Honest to goodness, I can't see that. So in a way, one of the one of the buffers that government has is if you want to go into a business, you need to wear a mask. At least in California. For your place, I don't know, but I would just be apt to be a little careful. I'm a chicken short, Rosie. I gotta wear. Hey, no problem at all. I support people's right to get it or not to get it. Hey, Candy, how are you? Uh, yeah, Candy, just be prepared to just chill out for a couple days. You might get some aches and pains, maybe sweat a little bit, but it'll be over. But I totally support I support your right to make that decision. I just knew what I needed to do and I did it. And they'll probably come out with various booster shots, probably something in the fall. And yeah, I will get that. I will continue to get those dosings and things like that. I have the answer, but it's too dirty to say in here. Uh-oh, Ricky, Smo. I don't know, Sharon. I don't even want to go down that road. Yeah, happy birthday to everybody in the chat. Yeah, Stony. Yeah, you too. Missy, crazy. Hey, Darlene, I'm happy with the mask. I'm so used to wearing the mask now, and because I can't go into business, I can't go into a 7-Eleven. I can't go, I feel uncomfortable in and out. They're uncomfortable at the Dutch Brothers. If I'm in line and I don't have a mask, they immediately ask me, do you have a mask? Could you put your mask? I'm so used to it now. We still have the H1N that kills people. Yes, we do, Joe. We do. And I'm just telling you, to this point in time, I think that we're damn lucky that we've so far avoided this horrendous middle part of the W where we start taking out a different age group and we start going after the robust people in the prime of health, as happened in 1918. And I hope that doesn't happen. But the longer this world goes unvaccinated, the more people are unvaccinated, the more there's that breeding ground for variants to come. And one of these variants, and there's probably dozens being spun off a day, it only takes one of these little bastards that's got a real stick in its craw and to be a real Billy badass in the viral world to go out there and really unleash a hell of a lot of damage. And I got my first indication today in that news article that this latest variant, I think it was in Brazil, is starting to take out the younger people too at a higher rate. So just be advised that while other people are celebrating in this country, the little early warning canary in the coal mine might be falling off of its perch. Okay. Where can I get vaccinated? Call your primary care physician or your local county or city health department. It's their responsibility to get you vaccinated. So it takes about 25 years. My own guess, if you were to ask me, and thumbs up or appreciate it, guys, if you've enjoyed the chat tonight. If I had to guess, I think we still have a long way to go in this pandemic. I hate to say that, but at least we're used to dealing with it now. Remember this time last year when I put out that first warning that there's storm clouds on the horizon when I saw them satellite images of digging mass graves in Iran, and I said, "Whoa, this is kind of different." Right, and then we just got blasted. Uh, yes, there's not, and there's also of concern. Also, Cheryl, is that people that have had COVID-19, there are groups of people down in Brazil that have had COVID-19 that are now being reinfected with the new variant. I don't tell this to you guys to scare you, but I do scan a lot of uh, what I call mainstream news sources every day, ones that I consider reliable in nature. And you just have to be aware that some of this stuff is out here, okay? And don't, I'm not going to let my guard down. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna let. Hey, Kip, how you doing, babe? Kipper comes in just when I'm getting ready to pack it up for the night, which I'm going to do, guys. Now I've gone about an hour and a half here. Thank you, Em. Thank you very much, sweetie. Your thumbs up are always appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. I'm going to try to get a little bit of extra sleep tonight. You know, it doesn't look like I'm going to do that flooring job for a while, and I'm kind of half tempted to really hit the road and take advantage of this last little non-screaming space with the boss that I have here to hit the road or something. So we shall see. In the meantime, Shemay, thank you for being here. Al, first name, everybody else, thanks. I know differences of opinion. I see it in the chats and things. And I honor those differences of opinion in here. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. In the meantime, have a very good night to my wonderful moderators. Thank you to Google, YouTube. Thanks for screwing up my monetization again. Yeah, we'll get it fixed. Just stand by. If it doesn't get fixed, just reapply in April. Thanks. All right. You can set your clock by March 1st. All right, good to see you. Love you too, Em, and everybody else. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Patricia and Sharon, everybody else. Have a great one, Al, and be safe. And please continue to wear those masks. And Kipper, give my girl a big hug up there. Thanks, everybody.